race. How important is it today? We're being sold as black people a bad bill of goods. We're being told that we are in a post-racial era. We got a black president. We are Americans. We're not black. We're not white. We all free to love who we want to love and mix with and produce whatever type of offspring, we want. And that's true. Very true. People can do whatever they want to do. In this society, that's promoted, that people can do whatever they want to do. Men could be with men, women could be with women, Now they'll have men with boys. That's coming soon. They got that up in debate in D.C. from, of all places, San Francisco, where young boys and men will be free to frolic with one another. Yeah. So in this day and time, a society based in race mixing and, breaking down of our people's mentality and genetics and things like that, so much goes into that. And it is much more than feelings and love and emotions and, people that you feel as though you can't live without. That thing of love is constantly pushed to us in these relationships. The ability or the mindset to get us to see beyond race and look at love. Love. We don't have to look at anything else. All we need to live on is love. This is what we're taught in accepting these type of relationships. That's all based on love. Really. We're going to examine that tonight. Is it all love? Is it all just people and human beings coming together and, and just living and loving each other in peace and being with who they want to be with? And is it going to ultimately affect our people in the future, to come? I am the intellectual Nuben Menkares, and this is State of Mentel Radio. And tonight I'm going to be discussing race mixing amongst our people, amongst black people, and the rising tide of race mixing and a mindset that gives us this idea of acceptance. Because at the core of race mixing, at the core of interracial mixing amongst our people, from both our sides, from the woman's side, even the man's side, at the foundation, at the core of that, why are people engaging that is one word. One word. Acceptance. Acceptance in the greater populace. This is, like I said, the idea that we're sold in engaging in interracial relationships with other races of people outside of our race, because it is made to look as though by staying within our race and staying with our own kind, it makes it seem as though we're limited people, that we're limiting ourselves and that we're cutting ourselves off from opportunities or greater opportunities to know people, and that we should basically accept this, idea of this big old love melting pot, this big old racial melting pot that we can be a part of if we give ourselves to these unions. And a lot of our people are buying into this hook, line, and sinker. Right? Look at the message. Look at the message in the movies and in TV and things of that nature. Because I discussed images last time. Last week I discussed the images of black women. And all this plays over with the black woman and the white man, and and how you never really see now black men and black women on TV or in any medium together. How that's being done purposely. How you can see a white man and a black woman together before you see a black man and a black woman together. It's all being done purposely. How the children in this day and time, they don't see interracial mixing and things like that as a problem. They're being told that, we've moved on from that. That was a time in history, in the history of this society, that is past. But then the message of a Trayvon Martin, if I'm pronouncing the brother's name, young brother's name, Trayvon, and all these black men who are getting killed and shot down, and all kinds of racial profiling. I read something on the Abundance page, the network, where it was talking about how I'm trying to remember the story, how a black a young black man and a young Mexican man got into a car of a Florida police officer, and those two were never seen from again. They were never heard from again. They were never seen again. They just got in the car, in the police car, and was never heard from or seen again. And this, nobody ever questioned it. Nobody ever said anything about it. This officer's still walking free. So it reminds you of how things went in the South in the 30s and the 40s. And this happened maybe 5 or 6 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been a little longer, but it happened somewhere in the new millennium. So reason of me bringing that up is that, when people try to sell us this idea that we're living in a post-racial society where, things like interracial mixing and that mindset, that we should be able to live that way and that we should accept this, because it's, this is what we're really doing. We're being pushed to accept this. We're being pushed to, marry our mindset into this whole thing of mixing in with the greater populace as though we're marrying ourselves into something better than what we have. And in doing that, we lose a piece of ourselves, who we ultimately are. And we adopt the mentality of the greater society, of pop culture. And we seem like we have no problem with that. You can see black women, talking a certain way. They, using certain vernaculars of white women now. And, everybody in society, everyone has one universal sound, little euphemism and phrases that they use in talking. You see the black man doing the same thing. You can see him doing the same thing, trying to fit in and be accepted. Because I said at the heart of these relationships is the want to be accepted, to not feel as though you're a part of a race of outcasts. You understand? And that's a very weak point. And that's a very weak foundation to build a relationship on. One where you want to be accepted. I said, and I made a joke about this, I said black people in this society suffer from Down syndrome. The majority of black people in this society suffer from Down syndrome, meaning they want to be down with everything in this society. They want to be a part. They want in. They don't want to truly build up anything within themselves, have something that's totally their own, something that's based on their own experiences. See, because that's what bonds people together. That's what really bonds people. That's what really defines people. You understand? That defines people. What they experienced in the society, what they went through as a people together. Now, when we interracially mix, we're throwing that history out of the window. We're breeding a new generation of children who are biracial and things of that nature and mixed with every other thing, and they can't identify with what we went through in the past. It's no longer in their mindset. It's not passed down to them. It's not something where they want to, something that they can be aware of if it ever shows its face again, which is constantly showing its face in this society. Because I've heard black people sit up here and talk about they want to teach their children not to deal with race and racism, which is the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. That is the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. That you don't want to teach your children about racism in this society. You want to act as though it doesn't exist. You want to act as though they're living in a world where color doesn't matter. In the face of Trayvon Martins and other young black men who've been shot down and killed in this society, or you can go on YouTube and see black women getting beaten up by police and things of that nature. You want to try to sell them that bill of goods and tell them lies? You want them to live in a fantasy world. You want them to live in the Wizard of Oz and, Alice in Wonderland, where none of this matters, where you're free to love whoever you want to love, where you can just mix out your genetics in this society to be accepted. I had one lady tell me one time, she said, if everybody was the same, she was supposed to be a so-called liberal. She said, I wish that everybody was the same. That way we wouldn't have to deal with racism. I wish we was all one color. And she doesn't realize in that statement she made that was racist. That was racist. Because what you're telling me is that by making that statement, what you're saying is that you yourself cannot accept the differences of other people. That it would be more easier for you if everybody was the same. That's a racist. Listen to the words they use in society, racial tolerance. We're tolerating your differences here. We don't like you, but we'll tolerate your difference here. And Negroes use these same words without even thinking, not even understanding what they mean. They don't like you. They want your genetics out of here. They want them mixed out in the society. They don't want dark skin in the new society. They don't want woolly hair in the new society. They don't want broad features. They don't want thicker lips. They don't want that in this society. So you breed it out. How do you breed it out? Through interracial mixing. By teaching people that their physical features are all wrong. By teaching people that how they look, how their hair is, and how it stands up is just all wrong. It's all wrong for this society. And when you can get the people to buy into that, when you can get the people to accept that, when you can get the people to hate themselves, then you can make interracial mixing much easier for them to accept, to swallow. Because that's at the foundation of race mixing. There's a self-hate there. There is. There's a self-hate for your image. Because you are mixing, you're saying that you're willing to mix your image out or break down the genetics of your physical composition and mix it in with someone else's because you don't like who you are. That's really what you're saying. You could love anybody. You could love a man. You could love a woman. You could love a pet, a cocker spaniel. It don't matter. You can love anybody. That word love is thrown around so much to the point where it really doesn't mean anything. You can't. They say you can't control who you love. You know. You can't control who you have feelings for and things like that. That is such a cliche and a made up phrase or whatever that was created in this society. And I find our people repeating that all the time. You can't tell me at the heart of these relationships with black women and black men was a desire to want to be in or be a part of something that you felt shut out of. That want to be down mentality, that hate, that self-hate for your, for who you are and your people. That you couldn't find beauty within your own people. That you teach your children that you couldn't find beauty within your own people. That you went outside that. That you couldn't find the same mentality in one of your own. That you had to go out outside and look for something else. See, when black people take this mindset about staying with themselves and staying amongst themselves and not mixing themselves out of, racially, they make it seem as though black people are racist in doing that. They make it seem if a black person says, we want to just stay with black people, they make it seem like you're saying something funny or something crazy. Right? It was a black woman in England. They do this in England too. She's a sister was letting me know in England. She said her and a black boyfriend, she said, they fiance about to get married. She said, very pretty sister. And said white guys come in all the time because, it's very, it's common to see black women and white men over there and black men and white women over there in England and the UK. And they give her fever. She said the white men give her fever, to give her drama because she's with a black man. They're like, what you doing with him? Wow. Why would you care about who this woman chooses to be with? Why would you care? Why would you feel like you would have to, involve yourself in this woman's personal relationship? Why would a movie industry feel as though they would have to push a message like this to black women? Could it be that there's something bigger than just love and race mixing in this scenario that's going on where, like I said, the black woman is being pushed with the white man? Could it be something bigger in this? I looked at Quincy Jones and I looked at Sammy Davis Jr., two throwbacks. And I looked at Sammy Davis Jr.'s daughter he had from a white woman from England, an actress named Maya Britt. Right now, the daughter that he had with her came out really, really like white looking because she's white with blonde hair and blue eyes, and the daughter came out white looking, with, you could tell that maybe it's a 10. She got dark hair, maybe it's a 10 of Sammy somewhere in her. But she went and married a white guy, and the grandchild looks white. So Sammy Davis genetics, any of his black genetics are gone. They're gone. You understand? If you looked at that child today, or you talked to that child, and you said, and he told you that Sammy Davis Jr. was his grandfather, you'd be like, get the hell out of here. He's like a white guy. He's a white kid. So those genetics are gone. Your genetics are being mixed out of this society. All the things that are seen as being a problem here, differences, which this society really doesn't accept, obviously, are being mixed out of here, being edited out, being pushed out. And this mentality and this mindset has been pushed into the minds of black women. Black women can sit up here and deny it all they want to, that, it's about love. Why you got to make it about something more than love and whatnot? Like I said, that mentality, that mindset, that whole love thing was something that was created here in this society with Hallmark cards and rings and bracelets and all kind of other nonsense. That was created here. And infatuation. Right? That was created here. There's no love for our people in this society. Not really. You can take a few liberals and all these people that was willing to do this, and they say, we trying to do the right thing and blah blah blah, and we trying to make it where it's not about race anymore, and it's not a racial society and whatnot. There's always going to be that here. Whenever you have differences and you have people who are not willing to accept differences, you're going to have that here. Whenever you have people who have a problem with this black seed or this black genetic continuum, which a lot of people do because it's the strongest on earth, they have a problem with the continuation of this black genetic, obviously. So how do you get at the core? How do you get at the essence of destroying that black genetic? How do you get at the essence of destroying a black nation or a black offspring? Simple. You work on the women. You work on the women. You tell the women that their hair is wrong. You tell the women that their features are wrong. You push on the women this idea of what is right in the society, what looks right, what looks pretty, what is beautiful in the society. You gear them toward your image. And by you gearing them towards your image of what beauty is and what's appealing, they too will want to gravitate towards your image. And how do they do that? By taking men from other races and abandoning their own. There was a story, someone told me this story not too long ago about black women down south who wanted to have, young black girls down south who wanted to have babies in Virginia and South Carolina, North Carolina. And they said they'll go, and because they want to have children, they might not have any children at the moment, but they want children. And they said they want children with good hair, quote unquote good hair. So what they would do is get some white guy, and just have sex with the white guy, have the baby. And the white guy would basically, they didn't care whether the white guy stayed. They didn't mind being single parents to a child, mixed race child with quote unquote good hair, light skin. You understand? This is what they wanted. They said they didn't want, and this is something big that was going on down south. It's a little under this little subculture thing, but it's something big that's going on down there. Producing children with quote unquote good hair, mixed race, light skin. We still suffer from this mindset. We still suffer from this ignorant mindset, from this self-hate, which is what makes us go into doing this thing. I read a comment in one of the Facebook pages about, not discussing this, and this is not an important issue to discuss. A sister made this comment, and I said, you know what, that mentality, and I was going to comment on that. I said, that mentality is why our people are the way they are right now. This is why young black men and young black women have no sense of what it is to be black anymore. That's out the window. Because black people got this mentality where they're trying to ignore race. They trying to ignore it, so they hopefully, like the boogeyman, it'll go away, or hopefully it's not going to be no longer the 800-pound elephant that's sitting in the room in the corner somewhere. It's not going to, just ignore it. Let's not talk about it. I don't want to raise. I remember I was watching the Chris Rock movie where, the woman in there played this. I think I love my wife. She says, I don't want the children to be raised on race. We don't want to talk about race, and I don't want them to think about race and this, that, and the third. So when they grow up and things happen to them like Trayvon Martin, and when things happen to them like that, they don't have a reference point for that. They don't know what to make of that. They don't understand because you told them don't think about that. That's not real. Black people have this ignorant mindset in them, this ignorance of things, which makes them ignorant. They want to ignore what is going on in the society. They want to ignore in the society that this racial thing of pushing the black genetic out and mixing it out and things like that. They want to ignore that this is actually going on. This is taking place. That our genetic is not welcome here in the future. And you got a lot of black women who are pushing this. You got black women on the website. I forget what the name of the website is. I would call it out. I damn sure would call it out for you right now if I can remember, where you have black women up there pushing this whole race mixing thing of being with the white man and whatnot. And they trying to push sisters hard and telling sisters, why you want to be with the black man and this, that, and they going hard with it. And it makes you think, why are they going so hard with it? I mean, if that's your personal preference and you want to be mix outside your race, that's fine. That's on you. But why is it that you're pushing and trying to get other black women, trying to create a united front of black women to do that? What's behind that? Who's behind these sites? Who's pushing these black women? Who's doing this? Who? It makes you wonder. It's not just women, who just so happen to be with a white guy and whatever. It's more than that. I mean, because personally, I don't care, what people do. I say all the time that people should be free to be who they want to be and do what they want to do. That's fine. I don't agree with it. And I say it's good because we need to get this type of mentality out of from amongst our people anyway. Those type of people need to go and interracially mix. Go and be with the white man or the Asian man, whoever you want to be with. Because that should bring about a new race of people out of the black race who genuinely love each other. And we don't have to worry about this self-hate amongst us. Because now they're free to go be with whoever they want to be. It's good to know who the people are who are not on the team, so we can move on without them. You understand? That's important that they show themselves. It's important that they show themselves and separate themselves from the people who want to play on the team. But we have to be smart enough to structure a new team without them, a stronger and leaner team without these people. We have to be strong enough to come amongst each other and love ourselves and love each other and foster our relationships and build that black genetic back, because we have to mix out all of these negative genetics within us. Because I said one time that a lot of the reason why people do have these negative connotations in this society is because our genetics are messed up. They've been made impure for the last 400 to 500 years since we've been here. And it takes about 4 generations of straight black on black mixing amongst ourselves to breed it out, because our genetic is that strong. That's why if you look at black people, you see where back in the day, like in the 30s and the 40s, you notice that old black people in their 40s and their 50s look much older than black people in their 40s and 50s today. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because those people 2 generations ago, 3 generations ago, they had a lot of blood of the white man and things mixed in them, right? So as we started marrying amongst ourselves, we started to actually purify our bloodstream. This is why you're starting to look at us now in this generation and we look younger, because our genetic and how we age is much better than everybody else's on the planet. But when we intermix with other people, it messes up it ages us harder. You see people, who might be light or even brown-skinned people or whatever, and we have that white genetic in us, and it ages us. It makes us look harder and older as we age. We don't age well with their genetic inside of us. Okay? But if you notice, like I said, you look at the 30-year-olds and the 40-year-olds, even the 50 years old. In fact, I'm 41 years old, and people tell me I don't even look nowhere. I can go for being in my late 20s. That's because we're mixing the genetic out by staying amongst ourselves. And we are actually purifying our bloodstream, just as a river purifies itself, or a stream purifies itself as it keeps flowing. The same thing works with our bloodline. It's purifying itself. It's mixing all of that white genetic and all of those impure genetics out of us. You know, the same genetics that produce serial killers and homosexuals and all kind of things that certain races are known for in this society, that's popping up in our generation. That popped up child molestation and all that's popping up in our generation due to bad genetics and race mixing. It's a fact. Certain things are in people's genetics. Certain, bestiality, all kind of weirdness, all kind of madness, insanity can be in the genetics of people. That's why we have to be careful about who we mix with interracially and in this race here, because a lot of our people carry those bad genetics. A lot of our people carry the genetics of child molesters and homosexuality and genetic diseases and all kind of stuff like that, which comes from interracially mixing. Because we didn't carry this stuff before. This is not known to be attributed to our people. So where did it come from? Race mixing. Forced race mixing that we are being conned into doing freely today. You understand that? But you can't explain this to black people who have low self-esteem, who suffer from Down syndrome. You understand? You can't explain that to them. They'll say, "Oh, why are you hating? Why is this hate going? Why are you going through this hate? We free to love who we want." I said, you are free. You're free to do whatever you want to do. You understand? But you have to keep an eye on our genetic pool. See, because nobody ever says anything. When you have the Jewish community, they'll stay amongst themselves, mixing with each other and things like that. Nobody has a problem when they say their preference is to be with other Jews. Nobody has a problem with that. Nobody has a problem when they say the Italians say they want to mix with other Italians. They don't really want to mix outside their thing. But the only people that get a problem with that when we talk about just staying amongst black people and staying amongst our own and forming our own families and, fostering the black genetic, notice we get the biggest problem with that. You ever notice that? And from our own people, from the black woman, from some of these Sambo black men who love the white man, who love all the other race, who want to be down, and they think we should have the same mentality because these niggas don't want to be alone. They don't want to be alone and being a bunch of Sambos and coons. And they don't want to be alone. They want more people with them. They want more people who suffer from Down syndrome like them. They want more people in on it. You understand that? They want more people down, and they want you to have a low self-esteem too. Why can't you want to mix with the white man? What's wrong with the white man? They'll stand up for him. And like I said, I don't have no hate for white people at all. So from what how I'm talking, people would think, "Oh, you got a hate for white people." No, I don't have a hate for nobody at all. I don't have a hate for nobody. But it's not going to stop me from stating facts. It's not going to stop me from being a realist in the world about the evolution of my people. We can't evolve as a people and be free to be who we are if we are cutting our blood in with everybody else's. The vision gets blurry. The bigger picture becomes smaller, or it becomes tainted. Because we could be in this mindset where we're trying to evolve and come away from what we came away from as black people and coming into a whole another mindset, but then we get this other genetic in there. We get this racially genetic mix in there of people who are not us. So now the vision gets blurry. How can you promote that, this thing of our people coming up, black people in the struggle and what we've been through in our genetic and our eternal genetic moving forward? How can you promote that if you're promoting race mixing? If you're promoting our blood with other people's? How do you do that? How do you do that? You can't do that. You can't do that. These people carry all kinds of defective genes. You understand? And it's showing up in our people right now from the mixing. I'll never forget, I was in a hospital one time. I swear to you. I was in the hospital one time, and I saw this light-skinned black woman. You could tell she was not the regular light-skinned. Like, I'm not saying all our people got a light-skinned mix or anything like that. I mean, you got black light-skinned people, and you got that mulatto light skin. She was the mulatto light skin, you know, and she was on the gurney. I never forget this. True story. She was suffering from some sort of rheumatism. I forget what it was. And you know what she said to me? I swear to you, she said, "This is what happens when you mix your bloodline." Because I think she was half white and half black. She said, "This is what happens when you mix your bloodline." And I damn near knocked me over. I swear I couldn't have made this up. Yeah, you know, this straight up. She was real with it. She said, "This is what happens when you mix your bloodline." You know, you got the people that are turning up in these unions who hate the fact that their blood was mixed. You know, exactly. Our blood gets thinned out. Our blood gets cut down. We start getting all kinds of weird diseases that we never had before. We start developing weird mentalities, all kinds of stuff in this society. We start taking this all on. But when you don't teach the children about this and, about interracial mixing and whatnot, stand amongst their own, when you don't teach the children, like the sister said in the thing, that the children are not thinking about this. They're not thinking about this. They thinking, we all the same, we all human. It's it's all good. We all one people. Why you got to trip about race and whatnot? No, we're different. We're different. I'm gonna go into the differences when we come back. You look at the rappers, you look at the entertainers in the videos, and they show you the type of women that they prefer. Their perfect woman is Dominican, straight hair, big butts. They would dissect their women in pieces. They'll take the behind of the black woman. They'll take the straight hair of a white woman or a Dominican or something else. Anything that's not ultimately black, they'll take it. The light skinned sisters ain't even good enough no more. It's they just can't get past. They don't like your hair because it's been bred in them to hate your hair. It's been bred in them to like your skin and whatnot. They going for the gusto now. Ice-T did it, with the girl Coco, and that whole image of the white woman. Like I said, that's in the mindset of these people. Hell, it's in the mindset of a lot of these black men who talk this religious crap, who talk about the black man is God. The black man gonna rule the world and whatnot. Hell, I seen the Israelites. They talking about how the fine white women come up there. Fine white women. That's the word they use. The fine white women come up there and flirt with them, and they said F the black woman. I can watch video on YouTube with the Israelites now crapping on the black woman and talking about F the black woman, and they love the white woman. They got pictures of some black man with muscles supposed to be like the Messiah or whatever, getting fed grapes by white girls and mixed race women. And they got pictures of black women with on welfare with children with dirty diapers and whatnot. This is the mentality, And these are the black men, these are the black men who who talking about the black man is this and the black man is that. They've even fell for this. They've learned to hate themselves. They've learned to hate their women. Because if you hate the woman, you hate yourself. If you desire to have children that have quote unquote softer hair or good hair, whatever you call it, that's a self-hate. You hate yourself. And the white man, he'll take, you starting to see this big time with a lot of the black women with natural hair, which trips me out. They starting to go with the white man a lot. And the white man requests for their hair to be like that. A lot of white men like their hair like that. They like the black woman with her hair natural. Ain't that funny? A lot of the white men like the black woman with her hair natural. So obviously, what you hate about yourself, he likes about you. But you see the black woman coon out of her teeth extra hard when she gets a compliment from the white man as if she got a compliment from the black man. Because it's always in their mind, in the black woman's mind that, if it's white, it's better. If it's white, it's right. It's always in her mind. It could be, she'll do something in comparison. It could be the dirtiest white boy with long hair and dirty jeans and whatnot, and he pays a compliment to the black woman. You understand? The black woman will smile a little extra harder because she's been brainwashed and bred that the white man in the society is the right man, and the black man is the wrong man. He has to be extra. He is shown to have no power, no control, no nothing in this society. Every time you see a black man, getting beaten down or shot down or whatever in this society by white men, that's done to do and produce two things. Number one, it's done to produce a fear in black people, and that's done purposely. Black people think that this stuff just happens randomly, and it really doesn't. It's done to produce a fear in black people, number one, and number two, it's done to produce a mentality in the black woman. What mentality does it produce in the black woman? I already said it produces fear in the black man and gets them in this mindset of, fear in the white man and other races. But what it does in the black woman is it makes her look down on the black man as being powerless, helpless, like a woman, like her. Because women always look to men to protect them. So the black woman naturally looks to the white man as an authority figure. She doesn't look to the black man. She looks to the white man as an authority figure. Even in the age of so-called Barack Obama, though he is just a figurehead, though he answers to white authority, even in the age of that, the black woman still looks to the white man as an authoritative figure, not the black man. The black man has no real strength or power in this society, and they prove it all the time. And just when you think that it's real, you hear the Black Panthers, everybody talking their stuff, then you see the Trayvon Martins and things like that happen, and everybody goes out and marches and does that, and somebody's never going to happen again, and they just go and do their marching, and and then it goes on to happen again, and they just ready to get their marching shoes out and march again, and whatever the latest photo op allows them to do, not realizing that this is sacrifices that are being made. Sacrifices that are being made to breed a certain mentality in the people, in the women. Not just the men, but in the women. To show what man is really in charge here. To show what system is held up on their shoulders. You understand? To show that you are powerless in this society. And a lot of you are okay with that. You got a lot of black men and black women who have no problem playing the lackey, the ass-kissing Uncle Tom, the black woman got that bed wench mentality. Well, a lot of you black women who run with the white man, y'all got a bed wench mentality. I told you that mentality is carried down in a genetic. You have no problem being, C bucket. I'm going to just use that word, a C bucket for the white man. Right? No problem. No problem being that for the white man. Being something he uses for sex, just for his sexual gratification. You see black women, like I said, I spoke about that site they talked about ghetto gaggers, where they had black women actually going up there and being degraded by white men. White men having sex with them, coming on them, doing all kind of stuff like that, making them eat watermelons, all kind of stuff. It blew my mind. I ain't gonna. I looked at it for a second. Because I watched it. I looked at everything. Yeah, just cum buckets. I'll say it. They cum buckets for the white man. They got no problem with that. Now, you could have never got black women to do that, humiliate themselves for a black man like that. You could have never got black women to do that. You could have got white women to do it. You know what I mean? But you could have never got a black woman to do that for a black man. But it seemed like black women go extra harder for white men sexually. They go extra harder because it's that master slave or that master slave mentality that's still in the lives of black women. Still is. That want to please. That want to have that mistress and master mentality. A lot of black women, that's their fantasy, to be a mistress for the white man. Look at Naomi Campbell. She's a modern-day mistress for the white man. I'm pretty sure she does everything with that white man with all that money. She does everything, fam. Naomi Campbell, you know, Naomi Campbell. She, high fashion model, probably like look at a black man if he talked to her, like, nigga, get out my face. But then she'll be a slut for the white man, a jump off, just to be used. Why? And she probably can't wait to have a baby. That white man ain't gonna put no baby in her. He ain't doing that. He's not doing that. He got enough money. She a jump off. He's a smart. What men want, he just uses her. Just like a lot of these black women get used. Like I said, with the white man, he'll put it in anything. Everything's a sexual experiment with him. A lot of these white men, everything's a sexual experiment with them. You understand? A lot of them, they suffer from this mentality where they want to be abused by a hardcore black woman, sexually in bed. A lot of that sickness goes on in these relationships. A lot of these sickness, and like I said, I don't really care much about it. I don't care, but what I do see is that in a society where everything is running free, where you raising black children to accept that mentality, where you're not breeding a love for themselves, breeding that love within them, that they're going to be subject to this mentality. When you're not showing them to love themselves and to love each other and have love for each other growing up and being amongst each other, that is being promoted within within this population. When they looking at stuff early on, like The Princess and the Frog. Who remembers that movie where you had the black I forget who played that role. It was the girl, the woman from the Jill Scott thing. She was in I can't call her name. She was in that Jill Scott HBO special detective agency. I forget what her name is. Anika Nooney Rose. She did the voice for The Princess and the Frog. Now, this was about a black woman, a black princess who kissed a frog or something like that or whatever, and the prince was a white guy. The prince wasn't black, he was white. So what happens to the mothers who took their children to see that? The fathers, the ignorant black men, because I knew of an ignorant black man who took his daughter to see that. What happens to the ignorant parents who take their children to see that madness, that mess? You're teaching your daughters, they're being programmed to grow up and not be with the black man because you don't think it's important. You got simple-minded Negroes sitting up here talking about, oh, I don't care who my daughter end up with as long as they happy. As long as they happy, we all human. Right. Tell that to the men. Tell that to the guy who shot Trayvon Martin. Tell that to all the black men that got lynched and killed throughout the society that we all human. Try selling that to them. Try selling that to the powers that be, the control of society, that make sure that this thing is systematically done where black men are being shot down and killed because of who they are, because they are black. You go and tell them that. You sing that BS to them. It's always some simple-minded black man who wants to be in, who wants to be down, who suffers from Down syndrome, who pushes these messages. You understand that? They programming your children early. They're programming young black men. They programming young black girls early because the focus is on black girls, not on the young black boys. Not really. It's more focused on black women because you take a nation down, you destroy a people through the woman because the woman is who gives birth to the children. She's the first teacher of the children. So you destroy a race of people through the children. And I'm going to say this. A lot of people sending mixed messages in certain older black organizations. One minute you say that the black man, you say that black people, the black man is God, and then, your membership and your certain things are saying something else. You're sending mixed messages. Either the black man is God and the black woman is goddess, and we stand alone and we have no partners, or you want to be with everybody. You want to share religion. And it extends into this religion, too, because a lot of you black men in Islam, a lot of you black men who was traditionally talking about this black man who came in through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and was talking this black man is God business, and then you turn around and you with Arab women now. Or you trying to get with women. You don't care what race they are. They can be Arab, Indian, whatever, Asian, as long as they Muslim. So you threw that whole black man is God out there. You forgot that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was pushing that the black man is God. He focused on the black man. He didn't focus on Muslims. Muslims was second. Black man was first. But like I said, a lot of you guys, y'all in this mindset where we Muslim, now y'all just all Muslims. Y'all got that whole we are the world Islamic complex, that fever. You niggas suffer from the Down syndrome too. A lot of you guys that came up under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, a lot of you guys, y'all suffer from Down syndrome too. You think the Arabs are your brothers. You think that they fathers, the fathers of these Arab women really want you to marry into their family. You really believe that they like you. They think of you as a nigga too. And you share names with them. You share flags with them. You share symbols with them. You share religions with them. Are you serious? You want to marry their women. You black women want to marry the Arab guys. There was a story about this. I believe it was a Arab guy. His son married a black woman, and I think that the Arab guy, he had a hit put out on the black woman. Okay, so our people suffer from this, and the way to get away from this, the way to solve all of these problems, because we're going to give and that's going to be the show Wednesday. We're going to give a real comprehensive solution to Trayvon Martin's. We're going to give a real solution to your Trayvon Martins on Wednesday, and your Amadou Diallo's. I'm going to give a real solution to that. How you can stop that forever. You know, if our people are ready, but the majority of our people are not ready for that solution. They're not ready for that answer. See, because y'all still love the white man. You still love this society. You still want to be down. You niggas still suffer from Down syndrome. You know what I'm saying? And I said it, yeah. We real talk. Y'all still suffer from Down syndrome. Y'all still want to be down. You still think that this dynamic in this society can help you. You still think that this society can help you. They can't help you here. The people that you run to for justice, they're not trying to help you. They're pushing this whole racial mixing thing, beating down the black man, putting this mindset in the black woman where the black man is weak. They're putting it there. They're spelling that out for you purposely. That's all being promoted. Where you black women, like I said, everything is done to produce a certain mindset in people. Everything is for effect, testing the people. You understand? Testing the people. The black man, like I said, he runs after the white woman and all other races of women. You understand? Because he wants to produce children that don't look like him. Because he's been told through his mother, through his father, through society that he is wrong. That he is wrong. You understand that? That he is wrong. He's been promoted in society that the image that don't look like him is God. He's been promoted in that whole image been promoted. And like I said, I got to speak about everybody, because if you put up the image in the Nation of Islam, you put up the image of Master Fard Muhammad, and I'm going to say it, you can say he mulatto all you want to, but it's no different than the image of white Jesus that was up. You can't promote that the black man is God and put up the image of somebody who don't look like a black man. I'm sorry. I could have accepted Elijah Muhammad before I accepted that. Yeah, but that's your teaching. That's fine. But understand the damage you do when you do that. Elijah Muhammad and them did that at one point in time because that's what he acknowledged, but they didn't truly understand and fully acknowledge that the black man was God. Y'all still not ready for that teaching. Y'all still not ready for that message because you still want to be accepted by white people. You still want acceptance. You still want acceptance from the white man. You still want him to be down with y'all. Y'all still want to be down with him. You still love him. I'm not saying hate nobody. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying hate nobody. You can coexist with these people without trying to love them or mix your seed with these people. You can still coexist. You can coexist and love each other. But understand that a lot of our people suffer from this. They suffer from this love hate thing. I told you, like, the black man and the black woman have this abusive woman, battered woman syndrome in the society, where they're gonna keep running back and trying to mix their seed in. They're gonna keep running back, trying to do everything. The black woman will hand her ass to the white man, no problem, and go hard, and trying to be accepted. It's all based in acceptance. It's all based in this. If you can't beat them, join them. We're not interested in the state of mental. We're not interested in beating them or joining them. We're interested in just doing our own thing. Even these people in the so-called conscious movement, I watch so-called sisters in the conscious movement, right? I watch them run over and they tell me, I'll mix, I'll marry a white man, an Asian man, or anything else. I'll do that, right? I'm like, but wait a minute, sister, you was amongst all these black conscious brothers, and you mean to tell me that you go and be with a white man? How is that? Because it's already bred in her, it's already programmed in her to hate herself. I was out with a sister, dark skin and things like that, beautiful sister, but she was just totally whitewashed out. Yeah, she was totally whitewashed out. We went out, took the sister out on a little get together. She took me to some place where it was full of white people, and she sat up there and told me for about 35 minutes that she would mix her seed with, and be with the white man and things like that because there are no options for black women out there. And I said, you know what? Check, please. Check, please. Because that's an insult to a black man who's sitting there with you buying you dinner in a white establishment, and you're being served trying to coon out to some white woman who's serving us who don't even want you in there. She couldn't even pick that vibe up. The white woman didn't even want us in there. But that's the mentality. We have to separate ourselves from these Negroes that suffer from Down syndrome. You understand? We need to really separate ourselves. These Negroes are in the conscious community. They're in everyday. They just everyday Negroes walking around in the street. You need to suffer. We need to, like I said, we're gonna literally talk about this as a disease amongst black people, Down syndrome. So let us be the first one in the state of MENTELLECT coin that as the new walking disease amongst black people. You understand? You niggas got Down syndrome. You want to be down with everybody else in other races. So we open the gate and tell you, I would be the first one to open the gate and tell you niggas to go, get out. Go be with everybody else. We need the house to get less crowded so we have intricate parts of the people who really love one another, and we can go and get together and form a new family and bring about a new people that love each other. We need to throw out all of our black trash anyway. You understand? We need to throw out all of our black trash. See, the white man, he got no problem throwing out his white trash. He'll make the distinction too. You know what I mean? He'll make the distinction. He'll call it. Notice the white man will say white trash, but then we coin the phrase black trash. You understand? You get some simple-minded nigga talking about, oh, brother, why you got to talk about them like that? I love my people. Why? No, I don't love all my people. You know what I mean? I don't love all the people that look like me. They not my people. I'm going to say it again, and I've been saying it since we got in the airway. Just because you my color don't mean you my kind. You understand that? Everybody in blackface is not for the evolution of our people. You got dark-skinned blacks. And they're not even going for that light-skinned, dark-skinned thing no more with sisters with the woolly hair. Because a lot of you sisters with the woolly hair and the dark skin, y'all a bunch of Sambos and coons too. And you love the white man, and you can't wait to spread them for him and make babies with him and drop out. You can't wait. You ain't no damn different. It'd be sometimes you darkest ones who'll be first ones in line to run and do it. So we're not going with that nonsense about, because she light-skinned, you can't really trust her, or she ain't light, how she going to call herself black? It'd be the lightest-skinned sisters blacker than you. See, because black is not defined by shade, because ain't nobody black. Nobody's black. You understand? Black is a state. It's not a color. It's a state of existence. You understand? So all that crap about, oh, you ain't black, look how light you are, and you dark skin, ace of spade, dark skin black people, y'all ain't black neither, because the darkest you are is the dark brown. You ain't none of y'all black like the Africans over there, and even that reason why they so black like that is because really that's sunburn. That's sunburn. That's why they look like that. Them blue black Africans. That's really sunburn. You understand? Just like how the white man burns red, the Africans over there, they burn black and blue. That's really what that is. Because their natural color is supposed to be dark brown. It's not supposed to be black and blue. That's a sunburn. You know, in Egypt, the average temperature of Egypt over there in places like, and even in dark and deep Africa, it's like 130 degrees. You imagine how hot that is? Do you imagine how hot that is? So a lot of you niggas over there talking this, oh, I'm the pure black Nubian African stuff, and you niggas over there in Africa, you love the white man too. Y'all got a lot of mulattoes running around over there. Y'all got nothing but mulattoes. Y'all couldn't wait to get with them English white women, and they come over there and whatnot, and y'all mix y'all seed with them. You understand that? So don't give me this black, pure Nubian African crap. You understand? Y'all a bunch of Sambos and coons to a lot of y'all. Y'all just like that too. You know. And I tell you, you know, like I said, I don't really care what you do. You know, I don't really care. You know, I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care about gay people. Well, you do what you want to do. Have at it. Have fun. You know what I mean? If you want to mix your seed, have at it. Have fun. But the problem I have is where you try to push that mentality. When you try to push that mentality on black people who are trying to develop a love for themselves. That's the problem I got. When you try to push that mentality on black people who are trying to develop a love for themselves, because these niggas lay in wait. They lay in wait to push that mentality. They lay in wait to push that mindset on black people. They lay in wait. They can't stand to see a black woman who loves a black man. They don't like that. You know, the sisters with the woolly hair, they come like that. These demons, they come like that. You know what I mean? They come like that in the black face and the woolly afro hair and the dreads. Especially some of you sisters with them dreads getting on you too, cause y'all got this love. Y'all got this we love the white man too mentality. A lot of y'all. Y'all got a lot of y'all got that one love mentality. You know, not forgetting y'all. You know, a lot of y'all do y'all dreads down like that because y'all want to flow in. Y'all want y'all hair to flow like the white man and the other races of women. But y'all just doing it in a dread style. All that mentality got to go. Anything that remotely wants to be like them needs to go. You understand? Because you cannot produce healthy people mentally who carry any traces of Down syndrome. And a lot of you carry Down syndrome. Even you ones who keep pumping your fists about black this and black that. A lot of you carry, a lot of you carry Down syndrome. You dreads, you natural sisters with your fros, y'all still carry those traces of Down syndrome. And we trying to breed that out of our system. We trying to breed a self-love and a new people out of the black race. Because the black race is sick. The black race is sick. The black people and the last millennium who was pushing this, the black man is God, the 5%, the nation, a lot of y'all got sick. A lot of y'all not going to make it to this evolution. Y'all don't see a lot of the leaders that came and whatnot. This was all an evolution to what we supposed to be becoming right now, in this day and time, in the new millennium, in the 21st century. 2 and 1 equals 3, which represents that third state of being. That's the third state of mental being where we're supposed to be evolving to the next level. Y'all don't see that. We'll be right back. This message is for a lot of you people who don't love yourselves. Black people who don't love yourselves. Blue 6, love yourself. Let me make this clear. I don't hate white people at all. I don't hate them. I don't hate the race mixes at all. You know, I'm going to say it again. I don't hate white people, and I don't hate the race mixes. I'm not saying this because I'm trying to, shut down my man. If I felt some kind of way about it and whatnot, like I said, hate to me is a waste of energy. What I'm saying is that, black people, we need to love who we are. You understand? We don't need to be, because I'm suspect of all those black people who talk about hate the white man, kill the white man, and this, that, and the third, and want to blame the white man for our issues. You know what I mean? You love the white man. Don't even hate what they do. They doing what they supposed to do. This is what they do. Hating them for what they do is like hating a baby for crying. This is what they do. You understand? This is what they do. They don't accept differences. They don't accept. This is not who they are. They're territorial people. They don't accept differences in people. Don't talk about hate the white man, because a lot of you black people that talk that stuff, you're talking about hating the white man, or if we talk about the evolution of our people and the 144,000 and things of that nature, we talking about raising that new people up. One of the first things black people talk, well, what about the white people? Be mindful of those type of niggas. The first thing they about, but what about the white people? They don't say what about the Chinese or everybody. But I say even be mindful of people that are talking about what about everybody else. When they talk about a new society and doing things, they don't talk about what about black people. That's not first thing out their mouth. But with black people, it's like, what about the white people? Or they'll say, these black people talk, I hate the white man. We got to get rid of the white man. This, that, and the third. As if our problem's going to be somewhat better if it wasn't no white people here. No. No. They're not the problem. You understand? I haven't said anything about them. I've talked about the problems of black people. Because everything that we suffered in this society is our fault. Even the slave trade is our fault, because the white man went to blacks and helped them, and they helped them capture our people and sell them into slavery. They didn't go in there and just start grabbing black people. They didn't go in there and just start grabbing black people. It was other niggas that was willing to sell us out. Just like today. It's other niggas who had the Down syndrome back then. So the white man came to them and gave them some beads and some trinkets and some tobacco. He came to them to sell out our people. Help us capture them. And he couldn't come. He couldn't have came in there by himself and did that. Same thing with South Africa and them other countries. They always go. They don't just come in there and start doing stuff. They go and start talking to. They round up the majority of blacks and put them on the police force. You understand? And you'll see in South Africa. You seen black police in South Africa beating up on the blacks. You see that? Get them some whatever. Some trinkets, some junk to sell out our people. Just like how they do the rappers today. They give them some cars and some money to promote a negative message. And I'm going to say something to a lot of you black women who think just because the white man sleep with you that he's in love with you, or that he love sisters because he want to sleep with you. Let me tell you something. Majority of the time when these white men, they do that, it's a status thing to them to sleep with a black woman. They used to say, you're not a man until you done slept with a black woman. They used to say that back in the South. When they had sex with black, you ain't no real, the white man said you ain't no real man until you had a black woman. You understand? So they had plenty of black women. They promoted that the black woman is a sexually loose slut and whore, like I said. A lot of times these white men, they'll sleep with you black women just to rub it in the black man's face. You understand? A lot of them do it just to rub it in the black man's face. Because like I said, the black woman got this mentality, this mindset, just because somebody has sex with you that he loved you. Or that, hell, they was having sex with you during slavery time. They was sleeping with you during slavery time. They loved you. No, they ain't love you. You still was their slave. They still owned you, putting babies in you and everything. You understand? They was putting babies in you, sleeping with you and everything, using you as they sex toy, whatever. Just like they do today. Just like they do in ghetto gaggers. You understand? They slutty sex toy. And though some of those women from out here are in porn already. But like I said, there's one thing to do porn, and there's another thing to do some degraded forms of pornography, where you got women eating out of dog dishes, and you got them eating watermelon, and you peeing on all kind of weirdness, and you violating every hole in their body, all kind of madness, just to degrade you. Just to degrade you. To show that you ain't nothing. Like I talked about that show Californication, where they had the last episode, the black woman, Megan Good, she had the white men, and she didn't have it. Like she just couldn't get enough of the white boys. Then when RZA flipped out and shot one of the guys in the arm and whatnot, then she goes back to the black man, right? After she done been used and damaged goods by the white man. The white man done did everything with her and then won, and now, going back to the black man, you can have and RZA grab her butt and you all happy, like, he goes back to her as used goods. You ever see how the black woman in society, a lot of you black women in society, y'all do, and black men, like I said, it's equal here, where a lot of you black women, whenever y'all start getting yourself together, when y'all decide to work out and get yourself together and stay in shape and lose weight and stuff like that, you start to raise your mentality. A lot of you black women, y'all are getting to the corporate world and things like that, and you'll, get a new wardrobe and everything, might get a new job, get in shape and everything. Next thing you know, your spectrum, your scope has widened. Now you date everybody, you date white guys, everything. But prior to that time when, you really didn't give a damn about yourself, you let your body go, you didn't have no real good job, or whatever you was trying to do, you wasn't really trying to accomplish anything, you was dating the black man. You understand? But as soon as you start getting yourself together, same thing with the black men who was in the hood all their life, and they was dating the black women because that was just what was there, whatever. But as soon as, let's say, start making money or they become athletes or something like that, they gonna run after a white woman or a Mexican or somebody who's not black or somebody who's mixed with something. You understand that? You understand that mentality? Everything is better than you. Because they look at you, the black people who got that self-hate, who engage in these interracial relationships, the ones who have that self-hate, they're the ones who feel as though being with amongst their own kind is limiting. It's limiting. It's like, it's not widely accepted. They want to be part of something that's widely accepted, a society or a system or a group of people that's widely accepted. They do it for opportunities. Understand? Or so-called opportunities. They do it to escape a world where they feel as though, I don't know, it's black this and black that, and they got that mentality. You understand that? So that's why I said there's very few. It's getting rare to see a real black person or a real black woman, a black man. It's getting rare because a lot of you, like I said, y'all are getting infected with Down syndrome every day. You're getting turned out by this society. A lot of you carry it in your genetics to want to mix your seed, to want to blur the lines and blur the racial lines. You want to do that. You are helping and creating what Dr. Yorkin used to call neutrinoids, people who you don't know what race they are. You're helping in that. You're helping to produce that. You're helping to wipe out our genetic. That's what a lot of you black women who engage in these things are doing. You're helping to wipe out our genetic. You're helping to destroy our race. Same thing with you black men. And you got no problem with it because, like I said, you got an individualistic mentality anyway. Don't stop thinking that every black person is down for the evolution of our people. You understand? They're not down or they're not for the evolution of our people. And that has to be understood. That's why I say I have no problem with these people who are not part of it. I'm not trying to force people to think that just because you carry the same skin complexion as me that you're supposed to be about the evolution of our people. I don't think that at all. I never thought that. You're free to do whatever you want to do. I'm not getting on you people who are in interracial relations. I don't care. But don't think those people who claim to be part of the evolution. I didn't say revolution. I said the evolution. You understand? The people that claim to be part of this mental and physical evolution of our people. Don't be fooled by this color thing. Don't be fooled by the darkest skinned brother talking blackness. He'll be in bed with a white girl and doing everything with her in a blink of an eye. You understand? Or this sister who got the fro and she dark skinned or whatever and she talking blackness and she got the shaped up high fro and she's walking around with the black, red, and green. They'll be down with the white man and man. Look at your Black Panthers. Look at what's that guy Eldridge Cleaver, Soul on Ice. His woman was more black than he was, Kathleen Cleaver, and you could tell she had white mixed in her, and she was more black than him. This nigga was dark skinned, dark as the Ace of Spades. He talked about in his book so long how he couldn't stand black women. Talking about he said he got a sickness in him, how he hate black women, and how he loved white women. And a lot of these Negroes still got that mentality. They don't say it, and it could be, like I said, it could be your people in these different Black Power movements. Is these people in a lot of these hate to kill white man. I told you the Israelites, 5% all y'all got that. Y'all got that. Because somewhere still inside you, you got Down syndrome. You still got that. You got them genetics in you. You understand? They haven't been bred out. They haven't, you know. They haven't been bred out. You know, they haven't been bred out of you. So you have to take the ones of our people who don't carry that mentality, who don't carry that mindset, and breed a new people. That's why I kept talking about the separation of our people. You understand? I kept talking about this, and I'm pushing this, the separation out of the black race, because the black race is sick. It's sick with Down syndrome. It's sick with all kinds of people who are not concerned with our evolution. It's sick with niggas who want to sit up here and sell misogynistic poison to children so they can get rich for themselves as individuals. You understand that? That's what it's sick with. It's sick with niggas that's still trying to promote drug dealing and killing and all kind of nonsense. It's sick with niggas that's sitting around here talking, singing nursery rhymes when you're supposed to be building a real nation. Niggas who just want to be entertainers, who want to dance and sing when we're supposed to be building something, coming together as real men, while white man and everybody else are taking part in running the world. We sitting around singing and dancing like Sambos and coons still. See, I understand now why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, and I like music. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with listening to music, but I totally understand why he didn't allow performers in the Nation of Islam now. I totally understand why he took a hard line on the people that was into performing and, not showboating and dancing and cooning and whatnot. And not, we supposed to be raising leaders and people of tomorrow, intelligent, bright people. I said all the intelligent, futuristic thinking people who are not part of religion, all the black, intelligent, futuristic thinking people who are open-minded, who are not connected with any religion, who are not connected with any ideologies or any man-made ideologies or beliefs, need to form a new family. We need to form a whole new family outside the black race because, like I said, because the majority of our people, like I said, they're going to be sacrificed. The majority of our people, just understand that, the majority of our people are going to be sacrificed. Trayvon Martin was a sacrifice. Sean Bell was a sacrifice. All these people were sacrifices. You understand that? These people were sacrifices. We got to call 347. 1 second. You're on the air, 347.
Yes, hello, peace. This is Melanie Sitak. I was in the room. I just want to say that I totally agree with everything you're saying, and we need to start gravitating to those who are serious and really identifying who is down for the cause and who's not. And I know it's very hard to do. I know it. I can't. I'm so sorry. My daughter was in the background.
Mm-hmm.
She was listening to the show as well. But like I was saying, when you talk about genetics, ever since I was younger and coming into puberty and white guys used to hit on me, I used to be disgusted, and I never knew why. And it wasn't out of hatred. Like when they try to talk to me or touch me, I really used to just cringe and be sick. And now that I read the story and people get into genetics and the fear genetics and all this other stuff that was done to us, I really believe that a lot of things factored into certain people and the majority of us.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like we're stuck on the same old topics such as light skin versus dark skin, sagging pants or not. When does it end and we get down to business? Because everything you said, you're right. We shouldn't sit around and be preaching hate the white man, because if you're playing a video game and your opponent is beating you, what you going to do? Sit there and be bitching, or you're going to come up with a strategy to beat them? And that's what we need to do. We need to come up with a strategy.
Well, that's why we formed the state of Mentel. Go to the som.info and you see where the intelligent ones of our people are starting to gather and come together, because we have to create another system. We have to. The state of Mentel is a future intelligent society that was set up by myself and others, and we're trying to pull our people together, the ones of our people who are tired of talking about the conscious nonsense, who are tired of talking about Pan-Africanism, that's tired of talking about religion. We came out of that. Those were so last millennium is over with. Now this is about future intelligence and coming together and forming a new family, because, like I said, the black race is sick, you know, and you just got a bunch of people. You have a bunch of people here who all they want to do is, you know, majority of them want to hustle our people. Majority of them just trying to, you know, they want to be down. They want to be part of this thing. They got very small vision. They're not interested in the evolution of our people. They're only interested in themselves as individuals and what they can have as individuals. Where we interested in the evolution, the state of Mentel is interested in the evolution of our people, the black man and the black woman. We're not talking about hating nobody or killing nobody.
Right.
We're talking about the fostering the life of our future generation to go. We're not interested in the rest of the black race. That's why we're saying we're leaving the black race behind. They finished. Majority of our people are finished. And we and
I totally agree.
you know, and we have to take the hard line on that, because, you know, we're not going to be sitting around here crying. Like I said, Trayvon Martin, all these people, like, I just sit and look at all of the hysteria and the hoopla that was
Yes.
talked about Trayvon Martin, and you got a black men to turn around and say that, but then who cries for the black men who are shooting each other down in the ghetto every day?
That's true. That's true.
You know, nobody. No, we only want to cry because this guy Zimmerman is not a black man. It would have been okay if it was Zimmerman was a black man who shot down a black kid. He shot down Trayvon Martin. That would have been okay. See,
exactly.
That's the mentality that goes into that whole Down syndrome thing too. That us against them mentality. We ain't pushing no more us against them. There's no us against them. There is the evolution of our people. Yeah, us. It ain't even us against the world. It's us moving beyond, moving in the world and moving beyond this world and creating a whole nother world. There ain't no us against nobody. We're not wasting our time pushing against nobody no more. Let the black race do that. We creating something totally different. We moving forward on a whole different other level. Let the black race push against the white man, talk this madness about getting guns. How you gonna talk about getting guns in a society where these people control the guns, the money, and everything else? You sound stupid.
Right.
You know. Be careful of Negroes who trying to promote this nonsense about getting guns and going to war. And we need a black military, and Negroes marching and doing dance steps and whatnot and trying to act like they really going to do something to the white man. I'm like, please. See,
exactly.
This is the nonsense we talking about. Or Negroes waiting for some spaceship to beam down here and take them out of here and take them back to Egypt somewhere, or niggas with this Egypt nonsense. Look, we done been there. Egypt is finished. Egypt is ruins now. We talking about moving into the future, because we supposed to be at a level mentally. And that's why I say in the state of mental, we focus on the mental evolution of our people, because everything is mental. We are mentalists, and we focusing on that. We're not worrying about no more religion. We past that. We moving into the future. All that past stuff is past and prologue. We moving on. A lot of these Negroes, they can't move on, so they want to keep going in a circle talking about the same thing over and over again. We pushing the straight line. You know.
I totally agree.
So that's
because everybody keeps getting into the past and history and our past greatness, and that's nice. But what are we going to do at this current time and for the future? I feel like it's either we dwelling in the past or we're just not dwelling on anything. So I'm totally down for this whole new movement of, forget the whole black versus white. Because me, I just want to excel in life. I want to have a foundation for my daughter. I want her to have financial inheritance, and I want that for my descendants to come.
Well,
and that's my main focus.
Well, that's all possible if you're dealing with people who are looking into the future and looking at the bigger picture. And we are doing that and promoting that in the state of Mentel. The SOM.info. Go to our page. The SOM, Sister Patrice just put it up there. Read the About Us section and see what we're about. You see that our site looks futuristic and it's universal, because that's what we're thinking about. We're thinking about the future and the evolution of our people. Like I said, not the revolution, because the word revolution means to revolve in a circle, and that's what these Negroes been doing. And a lot of these so-called black movements and religious movements, they've been revolving in a circle. That's why if you listen to their teachings, it's always the same thing over and over again, the rotation. And we need linear knowledge that's going to move us forward, so that we don't have to return to and revisit this nonsense that we're dealing with today.
Exactly. So I'll definitely hit that page. Is it on your regular Facebook page? Is there a link on your page where I can go to the other page from your page?
You can go just right now, Sister PT Tramar, she put that up to the SOM.info. You could go right up there, the SOM.info, and type it in. You can see it. It's right there.
Okay, I see it right there. All right. Thank you so much for your time. Great show.
Thank you for calling in.
All right. That's all. Bye.
We welcome calls from everybody coming in here and talking. Like I said, we talking about the evolution. We trying to give an answer to the evolution of our people. We got people calling in. You go to the SOM.info. You see the State of Mentel site, who we are, what we are doing. We are a future intelligence society. We're dealing with future intelligence because the true and living God, we acknowledge God as a supreme intellectual being. And all this madness that's going on here with the race mixing and things like that, these are things that are being taken place these are things that are being governed and engineered by mankind. Because look at us. And I'm going to say something, about this nonsense about human and, we all human and why we can't just get along. I made a statement, and I've been saying this. I said black people are not part of the human race. We are a totally different species. Look at us and look at everybody else. Now, you might not agree with me. That might sound crazy. But look at us. Look at our hair. Look at our skin. Look at everybody else. Notice the white man, the Asian man, the East Indian man, all of them look the same. Their hair is the same. Everything is pretty much the same with them. We are totally different. And that is recognized. That is the true reason why everybody wants to mix in with us. Because we are different. We carry a flavor. We carry a different flow. We carry a different vibration to us mentally and physically. And everybody wants to cut into our genetic. And they either want a piece of it for themselves or they want to pollute our genetic. You could look at black people in our worst state and you could see that everybody wants to follow us. Look at our hair. Our hair grows up in the air for a reason. Everybody else's hair grows down. Our hair grows up in the air for a reason. We're not what these people are. Black people don't even realize that. Some of your so-called intelligent black people don't even realize that we're not even what everybody else is here. There's a reason your hair grows up in the air naturally and everybody else's grows down. You understand? There's a reason why your hair naturally grows like that. And they try to get you to hate it and put poison in it to make it lay down like them. They try to get you to dread it. And I'm not getting on the dreads and whatnot. Like I said, who y'all do that? Like I said, if you notice, they pushing the dread hairstyle in the society. Little Wayne, Little John, Whoopi Goldberg. You think that's a coincidence that they pushing the dread hairstyle in the society? Then they make a movie called Predator, and they got the damn monster in the movie wearing dreads, and that they push Whoopi Goldberg with a white man Ted Danson. You know what I mean? And he comes out in blackface that time when he did that thing where he danced, where he for her birthday, in front of all them black people that was there to celebrate her birthday. And she crapped on all the black people for having a problem with that. You understand? You understand that? They putting that image out there for a reason. They pushing Little Wayne with the dreads. They push Little John. They keep pushing the thing. Little this guy, Little Wayne, Little John, Little Scrappy. Why do they push these little guys so much? Because it's a way of making the black man seem small, a little nigger. I'm surprised. I can't wait till they come out with a guy named Little Nigger. All to make the black man look small in you black women's eyes. All to make the black man look small in you black women's eyes. They beat black men, kill black men. Didn't they do that on the plantation? The white man showed you who was boss. He beat the hell out of the black man. You understand? He hung the black man on a tree in front of black women. He wanted black women to see that. He does that purposely. You understand? He does all of that purposely. He did all that purposely on the plantation. Just like, look at the United States as a big old plantation. You understand? Look at the United States as a big old plantation, and it's still master trying to show the black woman who's in charge, because that's the majority of the time when he beat the black man on the plantation. He made sure the women was all standing there, the children was standing there. He was making a statement. Just like he pushes for the white man doing what he want in Monsters Ball to Halle Berry, he's making a statement. You understand? He was making a statement. Remember when I'm gonna show you something deep that y'all probably missed. You know what I'm saying? Remember when Halle Berry went up on stage, and this is when she was with Eric Benet, right? Black man was with Eric Benet, and the guy Adrian Brody grabbed her and kissed her on the mouth. Now that was totally surprise. You know, that was a total surprise to Halle Berry, but she went with it. You understand? You know, she just went with it. And Eric Benet sat there, and they put the camera. If you remember, they put the camera on Eric Benet when Adrian Brody grabbed his wife and kissed her on the mouth, right in front of him. That was done purposely. You understand that? That was done purposely, just to embarrass the black man. Why do you think they put the camera on him? Just like when the white man goes after you black women, the finest black women, the prettiest black women, and sluts you out and has baby with you and whatever, and does what he does just to embarrass you black men, just to make the black man feel like crap. I said, there was a time, do you understand what it means when you have rich white men in the South who had black butlers? You know why they did that? They could have got old white men to be their butlers. You know why they got old black men? Because that was a status thing. It was a status thing to have the men who ruled the planet, the descendants of God, serve them. I'm going to say it again. It was a status thing to the rich, powerful, elite white men to have the descendants of God on earth serve them. That's why they had black butlers. That's why they had black women servants. They could have them whenever they wanted. And some black men they could have whenever they wanted. So a lot of you people, like I said, we definitely losing ourselves. We definitely losing ourselves in this thing. We losing our souls in this mixing thing. You see the young black men coming up in this new genetic, in this new dynamic, who've been raised on rock music and skateboarding and stuff like that. Where's the soul at? And the children. The soul of our children is leaking out of them. Why? Because they're being exposed to this white mentality. They skateboarders now. They wearing tight pants now. They acting like white kids now. They talking like white kids now. And some of you Negroes have been conned into believing that is a progression. You've been conned into believing that's a progression. We believe that that's some sort of progression. That's why we're not evolving. That's why we're not moving forward. Because you think we are moving forward. A lot of you think we are progressing. That's what these Negroes are saying. That's what they mean when they talking about now you free. When King came, now you free to do whatever you want. We free to mix with white people, marry white people, be accepted, integrated into society, act like them, adopt their mentality. We free now to do that. Yeah, white is the new black. Exactly. We free to do that now. We free to mix our seed, race mix, and finally knock down the door and be part of something that they wanted us to be a part of in the first place. See, I said that Martin Luther King was only possible because Elijah Muhammad existed. Because they really didn't want our people to be unto themselves, to have their own thing, to mix them with themselves, and to have this mindset. So they had to produce a Martin Luther King. And all the race mixes, all the people who suffered from Down syndrome, because that's what your King movement was based on. That's what a lot of these Negroes and the Black Panthers was based on. Real talk. A lot of you niggas in the Black Panthers y'all suffered from Down syndrome too, because y'all was carrying guns. Y'all had the Weather Underground with y'all, and y'all was working with them. Y'all was working with the white people. You Black Panthers, a lot of you men in the Black Panthers were screwing white women. Even Khalid Muhammad said that. You understand? Y'all was screwing white women. You black women in the Panthers with the froze and whatnot, y'all was screwing the white men in the Weather Underground too. Y'all all suffered from jungle fever and Down syndrome. You understand? Y'all all wanted in. You wanted to recite the Constitution and stand on camera with guns in your hands and stuff like that. Come on, man. Are you serious? This is the truth here. I don't care. I don't give a damn who don't like it. It's the truth. We dealing with the truth. See, Niggas don't like the truth. Black people love the truth. Real black people love the truth. Niggas don't like the truth. They got a problem with the truth. They don't like how it sits in their stomach. They don't like how it says, oh, brother, why you got to say that? Because it's the truth. That's why, brother. You niggas suffer from Down syndrome. You know, speaking from a man who don't suffer from Down syndrome. Speaking as a man who is the bloodline of God. You understand? That's what I'm speaking from. The true and living God. Not your false God in religion. We're going to teach our people who the true and living God is. Y'all ain't been in contact with the true and living God. That's why you niggas suffer from Down syndrome. You understand? That's why you've been hanging up pictures of white men on walls and joining up with their religions. You understand? And begging them. But we're going to show you who the true and living God is and prove that when we do the MENTELLECT show. Because I'm going to unveil MENTELLECT to my people as the only solution to the evolution of our people. I said MENTELLECT, MENTELLECT, is the only evolution, is the only solution to the evolution of our people. You understand that? Like I said, it's going to do two things. It's going to surface the real black people. It's going to bring the real black people to the surface. It's going to bring the real black people to the surface. This teaching and this knowledge that we bring in the state of Mentel is going to bring the real black people to the surface in order to move on. It's going to take you out of the church. It's going to take you out of religion. It's going to take you out of the conscious movements. It's going to take you out of the philosophies and the metaphysics and the masonry and all the nonsense that our people were involved in from the last millennium that came from white people, but yet you want to put a black face on it. You understand? It's going to take you out of the mindset, if you even had that mindset of being a race mixer, an racial mixer, if you had that in your mind. But for the people who are like that, we say have a nice life. We wish you well. Like I said, I have nothing against those people. I have nothing against them. We just don't agree. We can agree to disagree. We don't want to kill you for your decisions. I'm the most tolerant person on the planet. You understand? You know, I'm the most tolerant person on the planet, me, myself. I don't mind about the gays and the lesbians and the race mixes and things like that. It's only when people try to go after the ones of our people. You know what I'm saying? Because our people are in those movements, in those groups, are amongst these people, and they have to be pulled out. The message is loud and clear that the evolution of our people must take place. It is not happening with these movements today. All these movements and all these groups of people are sold out, man. They sold out. They're not about the evolution of our people. That's why I give props to the Jews all the time, because they always about their business. The Jews stay about their business. They stay about their concern. They don't worry about what's going on outside their communities. They know about it, but they focus on their community. That's why I give them props all the time. You got to give credit where credit is due. You understand? You got to give credit where credit is due. They're not worried about that. They're not worried about. They got Jewish dating clubs and things like that where they make sure they link up with each other. But nobody accuses them of being racist when they do that. You understand? Nobody says, oh, well, why ain't y'all trying to mix with it? They ain't trying to do that. So why should why do black people feel, you got, like I said, you got simple-minded, Down syndrome Negroes who try to get in amongst, like I said, it'd be your sisters, with your brothers, with the talking to black this and that, and like I said, I saw that when I said to a brother one time, he's looking at a white girl, he said, yeah, I told him, I ain't into white women, I like black women. I have nothing against white women, but I like black women. And the brother looked at me, and he was so-called conscious. He had like an attitude with me, like, because I guess he got outed. I guess he thought I was gonna be like, yeah, really, that white girl look good. I just was like, I ain't into white women. He had an attitude with me, like, Then he tried to clean it up. I was like, you could be with the white woman if you want to. I know majority of the time you black men, it's about sex anyway. Y'all will screw anything, and it's about sex, and that's fine. But now, like I said, y'all done took the other road of it where y'all just want to, you want anything but a black woman, because in your mind the black woman is the lowest of the low, and that's how the black woman's been promoted in the society. In your mind, the black woman, in your mind, you so-called black men, you can claim that you don't think of the black. You can claim all up and down that the black woman is a goddess and all this other stuff. But a lot of you just saying it to get in her pants. Y'all don't really believe that. You understand? Because I noticed you guys in the 5% nation, y'all never refer to the black woman as a goddess. You refer to her as the earth. And what do you do with the earth but walk on it and plant seeds in it and use it? You don't give her the status of being next to you on a pedestal. And that's how we really were in our ancient societies. You understand? You know, that's how we were in our ancient societies. Black man and black woman together, sitting together. But because a lot of you guys are influenced by religion, y'all got this pimp hole mentality with the black woman, and you put her down. A lot of you don't think much of each other. That's why y'all got that Down syndrome bred in y'all, that want to be down with people you think are better than you. You black men talk about the black man as God, but you don't believe that. That's why you mix your seed. That's why you put up everybody else on a pedestal. You don't believe that. You don't acknowledge that to be the truth. Reality is y'all got a low self-esteem, and it comes through loud and clear. I see it. It comes through loud and clear. Truth is truth. Wise man once said to me, truth is truth. You understand? We're not walking on our women. We putting our women beside us. We breeding a new future with a new woman and new children. You understand? We continuing this bloodline in the state of mental. You understand? We continuing this bloodline in the state of mental because we the only ones obviously interested in continuing the bloodline. You understand? A lot of these people are not really interested in continuing the bloodline. See that picture I put up there in the feed about with the little black boy and the little white girl? You know. Now you know where I got that picture from? You're gonna be surprised. Guess where I got that picture from? I got that picture from a Ku Klux Klan site. Right? With the little black boy with no shirt on and the little white girl, blonde-haired white girl. I got that from a Ku Klux Klan site, a white supremacist site, I should say. So why would they be pushing that picture on their site? Are they really against race mixing like they say? Why would they put that picture up? And who got them kids to pose for that picture? Did they pay for that? Makes you wonder. Do you think the racist, just because the racists sleep with you and have sex with you, you think that they really hate you? Or, you know, they can hate you all they want to, but sometimes in this society they teach that sexual, you know, misogyny and sex and pushing yourself into a woman, and you know, and like look at the terms the black man use. I'm gonna beat that. I'm gonna hit that. What you got from the white man? Sex in our people is almost like rape, and that we inherited from the white people, all rough and you know, like that. Abusive. Sick-natured. Sick-natured. You know, sick-natured. We the only ones that interested. We the only ones that's interested in continuing this bloodline. You ain't gonna find that in the conscious community. You ain't gonna find it in no place else. They're not interested in because they don't know where they going. They don't know what they believe there. They don't know what they believe in the religious groups. They still going in circles. They still mad about what's going. These are movements from the last millennium. State of mental was started in the new millennium. You understand that? That's what it is. And like I said, I didn't do nothing but tell the truth. I told the truth tonight. People might have a problem with that. Oh well. You know, truth is truth. Truth is truth. We have to move on as a new people. You understand that? We have to move on as a new people. We're not proud of who we are. We don't look at those statues in Egypt and those kings and queens and people that ruled the world as us. We don't see that no more. We're supposed to be the future of that. We're not supposed to be in rotation trying to bleed our bloodline or mix our bloodline in with other people. We come from great people, black men and black women. We come from great people. And that message is not being pushed. Even you so-called Pan-Africanists, y'all mixing y'all race right now, mixing y'all seed too. Y'all with this we are the world business too. You understand? Y'all with it too. Y'all all with it. You know, you got white Africans, y'all all with it. You got white dreads, y'all. Everybody's everything now. Yeah, but you can't have white mentalists. You can't have that. This is ours. That flag that you see that's raised with that lightning bolt on that state of Mentel site, that's ours. We're not sharing that with no Arabs. We're not sharing no cross with no white people. We're not sharing no six-pointed star with the Jews or anybody else. That's their thing. If you want to argue over that with them, we're not arguing with people over that. Let them argue. We raising our own flag. We raising our own mentality. We raising our own society. We're not interested in anything that's going on here. And like I said, this ain't got nothing to do with, every week. Like I said, we let everything go as they is, but we have to drop bombs to bring people out. We have to drop the verbal bombs to bring people out of these false movements. That's what it's about. Somebody said, yeah, you can't build nothing by tearing down other people. Yeah, you can. Didn't the 5% of the nation talking about building and destroying? Didn't the Honorable Elijah Muhammad stand up and say he downed Christianity as being poisonous to our people in order to build up Islam? Sure, you got to tear down. You got to show what's wrong in society in order to build up what's good in society or build up something good. You have to tear down the bad and expose the truth. As long as you're not lying about people, you got to expose the truth and tell the truth and tear down the bad in order to build up the good. It is what it is. That's what true builders do. You can't have good and bad existing in the same place, in the same space. So we gave you a little bit more than just race mixing 101 and, misogyny and all that. Yeah, we know. We know about the genetics and the poisonous genetics and whatnot. And I told about this woman who had a black child from a black man, and she fed the child breast milk, and the child wouldn't accept the breast milk. Genetics, mental deficiencies. The same things that they claim that we suffer from, that they ain't want to mix with us, but that's actually what the human race suffers from. Genetics, deficiencies. We got to move away from that. We've come to the end of our broadcast. Join me again Wednesday night at 9 p.m. where I'm going to discuss the true solution to problems like Trayvon Martin and the children, many young black men are getting killed in the society. I'm going to discuss the real solution to that. This has been a real solution to that problem. This has been an enlightening night. And like I say always, evolution first, intelligence, vision, and ultra-standing, MENTELLECT. I am the intellectual Nuben Menkares. This is State of Mentel Radio.